Remove it. Alrighty, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome once again to the Enhanced Sports Show. It's a little bit after 4 o'clock in the New York City, New Jersey area. My name is Louis Snor, and I welcome you all to another edition of the Enhanced Sports Show. The number to call is 512-543-4662. Once again, 512-543-4662. And we'll be here until 6 o'clock, or just about, before Rasal McGee takes over his fine show. Don't forget, you can check us out on YouTube. Just go to YouTube and type in the Enhanced Sports Show exactly as it says, and you'll hear the show in its entirety. And don't forget about our other shows throughout the week. Kevin Dixon with Just Us Sports Monday nights from 7 to 9, except during football season when it's 6:30 to 8:30, obvious reasons. Rasal McGee, as I just mentioned, Saturdays from 6 to 7. Benny Cantley, who begins her new show, I believe, tomorrow. I believe that's going to be from 6 to 7:30, if I'm not mistaken. And I'll be looking forward to that. All right, we got a lot to get through. As we all know, NFL fans, draft weekend. And, of course, I was up the whole time covering the first round of the draft, taking out every pick possible. Oh, let me bring my crew in before I mention anything else. Yeah, all right. All right. Steve Davidson, is that you? Oh, wow. Wow, a lot of that going around. My condolences, Steve. Uh, Dana? It's Dana. Okay, just want to be sure who it was. Steve Kent. Mikey. Mikey. All right. Remember, guys, Mike and I actually know each other, so that's I think that. All right, so let's get started with the draft. Now, I was covering the whole draft all the way through the first round, that is, because I can't go through all I'll tell you right now, we cannot go through all 257 picks throughout the show because that would take about a month and a half to get done. So I was covering every pick from 1 to 32. Took about 3.5 hours at least. I thought it was going to go a lot quicker. I mean, I wish, first of all, you know what? I think that, let me ask you a question is, do you really need, I think, 10 to 12 minutes in between picks to get through each pick of the draft? I mean, isn't there some way they can kind of quicken it up so it doesn't take like 4 hours to get done? I mean, really, I mean, I think 4 to 5 minutes is plenty of time to get in and move on to the next pick. I mean, I think you got to keep the show rolling here. I mean, I know it's a live show and things can go overtime, but waiting 10 to 12 minutes, that's a long wait, and no wonder it gets so late when it's done. I mean, am I the only one who thinks this way, or do you all think I'm just crazy? Well, you're probably, yeah, yeah. I mean, the NBA draft doesn't even run that long. You know, so did I. Yeah. Well, yeah, right. I think last year it was shorter, but this year seemed to be a little bit longer for some reason. And I forget how many boos that Roger Goodell had the entire show. Enough. Well, of course, like it does every year. Huh? Yeah. Okay. Right. Yeah, but still, I mean, I think it's way too long, and not for nothing though, because it also doesn't run just one day; it runs 3 whole days, with the bulk of it today, really, because you go from rounds 4 to 7 or whatever it is, and that takes up the whole day, and that takes about an additional 7 hours. I think the only thing that runs longer than that are extra inning baseball game, the Academy Awards, and a Stanley Cup playoff game. Oh boy, never mind. Just a joke, just a joke. But you get the idea. I mean, it is long, and it's 3 days. Of course, the baseball draft runs longer, and that takes about 30 rounds to get done, and there's no way I can cover all that. Whew. Yeah. So if you think the NFL draft is long, guys, you haven't seen nothing yet till you watch the baseball draft. Oh boy. All right. So enough my rambling. So we'll get on with the first round selections and tell me who agrees with this and who doesn't. All right. Number one, obvious choice. Caleb Williams, a quarterback from USC. He's playing with the Bears. And I'll tell you something right now, because I heard something interesting about Williams. He's already made a name for himself even before he plays his first game. I'll show you. Well, I can't show you, but I'll tell you as soon as I get the article up here, because I found this interesting. How some people become stars even before they even play. Well, here we go. He broke records even before playing his first game for the Bears. Case in point, at Thursday's first round of the draft, the future quarterbacks set merchandise records on Fanatics. I think you guys are familiar with Fanatics, right? Yes. Okay. All right. Good. 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 All right. Anywho, um, on Thursday's first round, he set merchandise records on Fanatics, including jerseys and other apparel, and set the record for draft sales than any other sport. Period. Future Indiana Fever guard Caitlin Clark, America's darling, and broke the record just a week and a half ago, as her number 22 Iowa jersey was sold out in just a few hours. Naturally, you thought that could be tough to beat. Well, along comes this, and history's rewritten. The alternate orange jersey was the only version of his new threads that was still available. Yes, I used the word threads as of yesterday morning. And exclusively his size 2XL. His navy jersey was only available in youth sizes. Interesting. Williams switched his jersey. Hold on, a little bit more. Williams switched his jersey number at USC from 13 to 18. With the Bears, the team announced on the way out of the draft. Newly acquired receiver Keenan Allen, traded to the Bears by the Chargers, is expected to wear number 13. So maybe it'll be a lucky number for him. Well, time will tell about that. So looks like Williams is becoming a star already. I don't know if that's going to actually help the Bears with the success that they've been lacking the past decade or so. But he could provide maybe a big boost for Chicago because they can just because they kind of need it. And my brother's a Bears fan, and it's gonna make him happy. Hint, hint. All right, guys. So what do we make of Williams with this this historic announcement, and how will we do for the Bears? How will the Bears do? All right, Steve Davidson, we'll start that questioning with you. Yeah, we'll run down the rest of the picks as we move along, of course. Steve Kent. Oh, yeah. Uh, gotta watch. Gotta watch those kind of players. Gotta watch those kind of players, guys. You gotta watch them because they think they're all that, and the only thing that's really big about them is their alternate egos. Dana, hold on, right, right, number nine. Oh yeah, that stuff. The generational talent. Yeah. How many times we heard that before? Oh, this guy's gonna be the next generational talent. He's the biggest thing since sliced bread, which was only invented about a month ago. But every time we get these players all hyped up and everything, but yet when they come out of the field, they don't actually move up to it. I've seen it time and time again. I mean, we all thought, in other cases, with well, of course, look what happened to our quarterback for the Jets, and he's turned out to be a bust, and he's moving on. Thank goodness. Um, Connor Bednar of the Chicago Blackhawks thought he was going to help this team. A bust. Oh boy, what a disaster. And so on and so forth. So, the hype is always how it's cracked up to be. Mikey, your thoughts? So, I don't know. Maybe they'll improve, but I'm not thinking playoffs. I'm not thinking playoffs at all. I think they're gonna have another losing season, but I don't think it's gonna be as bad as in previous seasons. You know, Mike, you don't get the number one draft pick by being good. Let's put it that way. No, no, but you get the number one pick by being bad, but you don't want to be bad for that long. Okay. All right, let's move along. Number two. Um, uh, okay, Washington crew, listen to this one. Jaden Daniels, quarterback from LSU. Steve, Dana, any thoughts on this one? That's not bad. I like that. You have to like that. Yeah. Wow. I don't know about that. I don't know about the second kind of RG3. I mean, that's not gonna carry it away here. But it might be a good thing. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Enormous is right. I was gonna say wait, I was gonna say wait, you were saying don't need another Kirk Cousins? I was gonna say we don't need another hero, Thunderdome. Oh, no. Okay, Matt, help. Yeah, at least it's 6 o'clock. Matt, your thoughts on this so far? Matthew. Mm, yeah, that's the thing too. All right. Yeah. No, not at all. You need an explanation, people. No. Some things we just don't get it right. Maybe they weren't. Okay. Moving on. Number 3, them, or as we say, the Patriots, Drake May, quarterback from North Carolina. You guys know what I meant by them, right? Right. Okay. Number 4, marvelous Marvin Harrison Jr. from the Ohio State, going to the Cardinals. Number 5, the Chargers selected Joe Alt, an offensive tackle from Notre Dame. Um, all right, Mikey, what do you make of this one? The Giants select number 6, Malik Neighbors, a wide receiver from LSU. Being you're the Giant fan around here, so what do you make of it, Mike? Yeah. Right. No, no, LSU. LSU. All right. Okay. Uh, Number 7, the Titans take JC Latham, an offensive tackle from Steve. Say the line. Thank you. Okay, moving along. All right. Number 8. This was an interesting pick. I think this was. I kind of thought maybe he was going to go. So I thought it was going to maybe in the top 5 though. Michael Banks Jr., the quarterback from Washington, going to the Falcons. Uh, Steve Ken, I'm a little bit surprised. I think it was a little bit low. I think maybe Penix should have went higher. I think he should have went, into the top 5. I mean, getting to at least the final in the college playoffs. I think he deserved to be better than that. But 8th, I think that's a little bit low. Don't you think? Yeah, Penix. Oh, okay. All right. So you really think that he should have been drafted lower than that? I don't know. I mean, he wasn't that bad. Okay, the performance in the championship game, yeah, that was a little lackluster, but still, I don't think you should penalize for that. I think he should have been somewhere like a little bit high. But that's just me. Yes, absolutely. You're right. Oops. Yeah, yeah. Drafting a replacement. Yeah. Well, Belichick's lost it anyway. I mean, he hasn't been the same. Yes, right. In other words, it might have left it in a blank state. Oh, thank you. All right, moving along. Before I do any more dumb jokes. Uh, okay. All right, number 9. As we mentioned earlier, um, Rome Odozzi, a wide receiver from Washington going to the Bears. That's the second pick in the top 10. They could use it though. Yeah. Number 10. Speaking of McCarthy, JJ McCarthy from Michigan going to the Vikings. I think you're that, Steve. That's a little bit low. He should have been ranking higher, because McCarthy very, very funny, very funny. No, but Steve is right. Steve Cannon is right. Yes, Diane, we're doing the draft right now. So McCarthy goes to the Vikings for 10th. I think it might be a little bit low too. I think Steve Kent's right about that because a lot of people I think were think he was going to be ranked higher than that. I have to agree with that. Number 11. I hope I can say his name right. OU Fast News Penn State, the offensive tackle. Yeah, we can sure use it because our offensive game last year was trash, and we need to work on that very badly. Number 12, Bo Nix, quarterback from Oregon, goes to the Broncos. Number 13, this was an interesting choice. Brock Bowers, tight end from Georgia, going to the Raiders. Uh, no, yeah, you, why would you want Gardner Minshew anyway? What do you want? What do you want? Why would you want Minshew? He's awful. Right. Any volunteers? I, no, I guess not. Oh dear. Yeah, uh, that was a little bit low. Well, I think it was a bit high actually. So, we'll have to, yeah, but we'll see what happens when. Yes, yes, you did. Yes, you did. Right. That could be a problem. Problem. Okay. Moving on. Yeah. Okay. Moving on, guys. Moving on. It's only 2 hour show, guys. Okay. Number 14. The Saints take uh Talise Fuga from Oregon State. He's an offensive tackle. Number number 15. The Colts take Latu Latu Latu, a defensive end from UCLA. The Seahawks take Byron Murphy Jr., a defensive tackle from Texas. Yeah. Hey, don't mess with Texas. Don't mess with Texas, you know. I have I have I have family who came from there. Okay. Well, I do. I do. All right. Next. All right. Number 17. Dallas Turner, a defensive end from Alabama, goes to the Vikings. His name was Dallas. Yeah. Yes, he did. Yeah. Right. All right. All right. Who left? Let me get a roll call here. Steve Davidson, um, Dana, Mike. I think he disappeared. All right, all right. So is he all right? Yeah, but he came on earlier though. All right, number 18. All right, number 18. Amarius Mims from Georgia, defensive offensive tackle, goes to the Bengals. Number 19, Jared Verse, a defensive end from Florida State to the Rams. Number 20. Mm-hmm. Oh, there we go. Number 20, Troy, if I can get this arrow correctly. Oh boy. Fontenoy, an offensive tackle from Washington, goes to the Steelers. All right, number 21, Chop Robinson, a defensive end, goes to from Penn State, goes to the Dolphins. Yes, they did. Right. Yeah. Let's hope we don't get chopped. Okay. All right. Number 22, Quinton. Quinton Mitchell, a cornerback from Toledo, goes to the Eagles. Oh, Jimmy. Yes. Number 23, the Jaguars select Brian Thomas Jr. from LSU, going to the Jaguars. Number 24, Tyron Arnold, cornerback from Alabama, goes to the Lions. Steve, you should be aware of that. Number 25, Jordan Morgan, an offensive lineman from Arizona, going to the Packers. Number 26, Graham Barton, a center from Duke, goes to the Buccaneers. Yes, Duke has a football team. For those of you who don't, for those of you who forgot, I think some would like to. Oh. Okay, number 27, Darius Robinson, a defensive end from Missouri. Sorry, I had to. And they said, no. And they said, let her cry. No. Sorry. All right. Number 28. Remember, these are applet, folks. Number 28, the Chiefs. So Xavier, we're not worthy from a wide receiver from Texan going to the Chiefs. Yes. Oh wait, you mean 4.43 seconds? Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. I saw some of that run. Good run. My Cowboys take number 29, Tyler Gunton, an offensive tackle from Oklahoma. Yes, he could. Right. Yes. Okay, moving on. All right, number 30. Okay. The Ravens take Nate Wiggins, a quarterback from Clemson. Well, that's a good pick right there. Like that. Number 31, the 49ers take Ricky Purcell, from a wide receiver from Florida, going to the 49ers. And number 32, probably not. You're right. Uh, all right. And last but not least, number 32, Xavier Leggett, a wide receiver from South Carolina, going to the Panthers. All right, guys. So, was there anything that surprised you in this first round, or is it all legit and you don't see anything wrong with it? Oh, yeah, that's gonna be the controversy right there. Yes, right. That was like, say what? That was a say what. It was. Well, every draft has a one weird pick that nobody agrees with, so that's not unusual about that. I mean, we're all yeah, 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 right. Okay, so let me move on. Oh, I have another not in the first round. First pick, second round. Oh yeah. Well, that could be a problem too right there. So yeah. Well, I mean, diabetes. You had to manage that. You had to manage the diabetes, so you had to be careful with that. I would take caution on that. Yes, but still. Hmm. Yeah. All right, so let me move on. Oh, that reminds me, I have some more Commanders news for you and Dana. Darnell Green will have his number 28 retired in the 2024 season. But the Commanders made the announcement on Thursday. They recently invited Green to their training facility to record a video addressing the draft class of 2024. After he finished, he was asked to read a few lines from a different version, unknown to him. He begins reading the script announcing that his jersey will be retired uh, until wait, reading the script announcing that his jersey will be retired until it fits him, until it hits him. A first round pick out of Louisville, Green played all 20 seasons in the NFL with Washington, whether they were the Redskins or the Commanders or whatever you want to call them. He only missed 5 games of his career. He recorded 54 interceptions, 6 were returned for touchdowns. Green, as one was in 2 Super Bowls, 7-time Pro Bowler, and was All Pro 4 times. He won the 1996 Walter Payton Man of the Year award as a member of the Washington Ring of Fame and a member of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Green is only the 5th player in franchise history to have his number retired. The other 4 were Sonny Jurgensen, Bobby Mitchell, Sammy Bowe, and Sean Taylor. Quite an honor, guys. Quite an honor. Even Peyton wasn't. Even Walter Payton didn't have his number retired. That's amazing. Yeah, I mean that's when, of course, when Chicago was good. That's when they were still the monsters of the Midway instead of now the mush of the Midway, which they've become now. They had to become monsters to mush. When you, yeah, but it is a great honor nonetheless. I mean, so yeah, and well deserving. I mean, you had to be good to get your number retired and whatnot. So yeah, congratulations. Yeah. So any personal thoughts on that on Green? Okay. How about you, Steve? I mean, you are the Commanders fan of the block. Okay. Anyone else have any thoughts? All right, then I'll move on. Okay, so I just wanted to throw that in, yeah, because I know it serves your area, and yeah. So sometimes I like to put it in for personal interest, to the crew here, and why not? Yeah. All right, moving on. More football news here. Or should I go to or should I go to baseball? No, wait. But that was okay. More football news here. The Cowboys have exercised the fifth-year option for Micah Parsons, as told by the Dallas Morning News. Per report, the option is based on Parsons as a defensive end and not as a linebacker. It will pay him 1.3 million for 2025 and is a full guarantee. Personally, I think he's better off, as a linebacker anyway. The designation is made by the league based on his players' snaps in the prior year. Now that lower number has been applied to Parsons, and it's possible or perhaps likely a grievance will be filed. Oh boy, here we go. Parsons is a victim of success. Nothing new about that. Uh, Victim of his own talent. The Cowboys insisted on using him only as a linebacker, move him around. The move resulted in him apparently not to be classified at the more valuable position. The number for 2025 is important because it becomes a starting point for his franchise tag if it gets to that point. It should not, though. The Cowboys should pay him, and Parsons should not fit the bill if until Jerry Jones breaks out the checkbook. Well, yeah, like that's going to happen. Parsons should be the highest paid uh, non-paid quarterback in the league because he is the most valuable non-quarterback in the league. Hmm. All right, what do you make about that? I think he's better off though as a linebacker to be honest with you. Right. You're right. You do. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, it is. Okay, I got something of a controversial story here, but we'll see if you agree on this. Um, yeah, well, a little bit controversial, but I'll let you be the judge of this. It had been a long wait, but Reggie Bush will finally get back his 2005 Heisman Trophy award. Now, I was listening to comments over the week and saying how he does not deserve it to begin with. But I'll read as we go along. The Heisman Trust announced on Wednesday that they are reinstating Bush 14 years after he was forced to give it up due to major sanctions against his alma mater. With the introduction of NIL in college sports and the landscape different in 2024 than it was 15 years ago, in light of that, Bush is being reinstated in his place in the Heisman history. The Heisman Trust said that Bush got his original trophy back and a replica was given to USC. Bush also will be invited to Heisman events starting this year. In a statement by Bush, he said, to he was thrilled to reunite with his fellow Heisman Trophy family, and also said he was looking forward to working with the Heisman Trust to advance values and the mission of the organization. Bush won the Heisman back in 2005, but had to get it back in 2010. It was repossessed after an NCAA investigation, which was spurred by investigative reporting by Yahoo Sports that Bush had received, oh boy, impressionable benefits. Yeah, because back at that time, you weren't known for your image like this and so forth. So back then it was still illegal. Yeah, of course. But changed now since then. Um, Impressionable benefits from agents while he was a student athlete at USC. Then USC had to vacate all wins Bush participated in while he was ineligible. including the 2004 BCS National Championship title, and stats from that season were nullified. In other words, erased. Well, do the crime, do the time. Those findings resulted in an NCAA mandated break between USC and Bush that ended in 2020 when the university officially welcomed back Bush into the fold. A year later, Bush made his intentions clear that he wanted his Heisman Trophy back and wanted the NCAA to reinstate his old records. Bush and his team reached out to the NCAA and the Heisman Trust, but did not respond back. But wait, there's more. The Heisman Trust was not moved by the plea Bush and refused to return the trophy to him until the NCAA decided to reinstate him. And despite the NAL rules changing, the NCAA said it would not be making changes to its status. Bush was elected to the College Hall of Fame last year, despite his trophy being vacated, but his desire to reclaim the trophy did not diminish. In August of last year, Bush announced he was suing the NCAA for defamation in the hopes of forcing him to reinstate his records, which might also lead him to get his trophy back. Now, even without a lawsuit being resolved, the Heisman Trust will reinstate Bush and return the trophy. It is unclear if it will have any bearing on Bush's standing or the lawsuit. Did I mention that this might be a little bit controversial? Yeah. I mean, yeah, you made a mistake, and it cost you. But times have changed now, the college landscape, and I don't know, but he did some wonderful, had some wonderful games, wonderful moments while he was at USC. I think he is deserving of getting his trophy back. You know, times have changed. He made a mistake. He's owned up to it now. Let him keep it. I mean, I do that much harm. All right, Steve. I know you're probably going to think the opposite, but what? I'll take your comment anyway. Yes. Yeah. Right. Right. I think you will too. I think this will. That's going to get back. I think if you do, I don't even think you need an even lawsuit at that point. Dana, any thoughts? Matt, Matthew. All right. Diane, any thoughts? Go ahead. Go ahead. You do. Oh boy. Yeah. Right. I'm afraid to ask. Yeah. Okay, I got one more football note here, and then we'll move on to baseball. The Cowboys have yet to fill their needs at running back, but the return of Ezekiel Elliott looks more and more likely. Sorry to break the news to you guys. Owner and general manager Jerry Jones would not say that the Cowboys would have an agreement in place with Elliott, who played for the Cowboys from 2026 to 2022, 2016 to 2022, but acknowledged interest in Elliott anyway. Jones was asked on Friday whether not drafting a running back in the first 3 rounds was more about the way the draft has fallen or the Cowboys' comfort level of what they have on the roster. First of all, the draft is not over, and it's still not over yet by this point. That's a thought, said Jones. It was a long time before a running back was even taken in the draft, but we are so very interested in seeing that future might look like with Zeke or Ezekiel, is the case. The Cowboys met with Elliott as manager this week. Rocky Arnett discussed possible reunion. The later, they met both at the same restaurant called D. Lincoln Prime as the Cowboys were holding a scouting dinner. Elliott led the Patriots with 642 rushing yards with 184 carries and 3 touchdowns last season. He also had team high 51 catches for 313 yards and 2 scores. However, his 642 yards was a career low. He saw a major increase in his workload in the final 5 games of the season after top rusher Ronimore Stevenson was sidelined with an ankle sprain. I know. I saw this as recent as the end of the year. I saw Zeke play, and he looked good enough to be a starter. In the final 5 games, Elliott did not return for more than 68 yards and only rushed for more than 3.1 per carries once. Wow. The Cowboys lost leading rusher Tony Pollard last 2 seasons in free agency, but re-signed Rico Dowell and added Royce Freeman. They also had Deuce Vaughn, Malik Davis, and Snoop Connor, tailback. From 2016 to 2022, Elliott ran for 8,262 yards for the Cowboys. That's the 3rd most in Cowboys history, behind Hall of Famers Tony Emmitt Smith and Tony Dorsett. Well, you can't go wrong with those two. I mean, come on, those two were legends. Duh. He had led the league in rushing in 2016 and 2018, but has not topped more than 1,000 yards per season since 2020 when he had a 1002. He was named in the Pro Bowl once and made All-Pro 3 times. I'm sorry, he made the Pro Bowl once and made All-Pro 3 times. Even if the Cowboys add a running back in the late rounds today, Elliott is still in the picture, according to Jones. I think you need him back. You need to get Zeke back to the Cowboys, to get that running game, because the running game was in shambles last year. If they weren't, maybe they would have got past the division round and, would have made it to the NFC Championship. So I definitely of Zeke coming back. Yeah. Yeah. All right. On to baseball before we really lose it here. Okay. All right. So, wait, one more. I got one more. I'm sorry. Day 3, Peyton Wilson was the number 98th pick to the Steelers. He was projected to draft higher after an impressive year at North Carolina State, but there was a specific injury that scared other teams away from him. That could really scare people away. According to the NFL Network, Wilson had been missing one of his ACL on one of his knees. Now, how about that? Now, that's not new. That's not new, by the way. That's happened before. Not to him, but to other players. He has a multitude of injuries. First was his left shoulder that he was operated on. It was not a great success, said by the NFL Network. This certainly is a lingering injury that is not, and that's not the worst of it. He tore his ACL twice, said by Ian Rappaport. He said, my understanding after talking to several sources that one of his knees does not have an ACL. We've seen this before with such players as Greg Lloyd and Thurman Thomas. For Peyton, Thurman Thomas was with Buffalo. You forgot. That's before your time. Right. We'll get back to. Yeah. All right. For Peyton Wilson, he's not missed a game and had 150 tackles. There are some secondary stabilizers in that knee. But that's the reason that may be the reason why for his slide. Despite missing an ACL and previous injuries that caused him to miss time with the Wolfpack over his 5 years at NC State, Wilson recorded 138 sacks and 6 sacks last season. He ended up winning the Chuck Bednarik Bednarik Award as the best defender in college football, and won the Dick Butkus Award, former Bears player that is, as the best linebacker. He was also a unanimous All ACC and ACC Defensive Player of the Year. His 40-yard dash time of 4.3 seconds at the scouting combine, excuse me, is the best among all linebackers who participated. Not bad. While his on the field accomplishments gathered deserved honors, his injury history is believed to be a reason why he was selected late in the third round. Yeah, I think that would scare me too. He was coming over with all his injuries because that could be, very costly. You got to watch players like that with that kind of injury history. So, well, yeah, that's true too. With those kind of injuries. Yeah. Any thoughts, Steve? Yeah. It's one thing to have one or two injuries come, but the way he's been going, uh, that doesn't seem very promising. So I can understand why he was drafted so late, but the fact he was even drafted at all, you gotta be careful with that because any more time injuries, you can have a very short career in the NFL, and that's not going to be good. And before I go to my other stuff, Steve, any UFC news you want to bring up? No. Yeah. Oh, okay. Diane, your trivia. Yeah. 1918, 1919 with the Spanish. 1919. 1919. Spanish influenza. Yep, Spanish influenza. That was Seattle back then before they got ousted. Well, now we can call them the Seattle Kraken, I guess. Yep, the original pandemic. Bobby Hall. Bobby Hall. You might be familiar with his son Brett. Yeah, yeah. Okay. I think it was 1950. 1950. I think it's like 1930. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. So now move on. Well, Shohei Ohtani did not get a great response in Toronto last night, and of course, a very good reason. After beating up on the Blue Jays 12-2 last night, and the Dodgers extended the winning streak to 5 games. Will Smith and Max Muncy also home runs as well. Otani, who leads the team in home runs this season with 7 leads extra bases and 20 this season so far. The ninth time the Dodgers recorded 20 extra bases in a single month since moving to Los Angeles way back when in 1958. Some fans of the crowd, which was over 39,600, were booing Otani was introduced prior to the game and before each at bat. Mhm. Otani said through his interpreter that he was not surprised by the reaction, and neither was I. Since the Blue Jays were rumored to get Otani at the end of the offseason before signing the mega contract with the Dodgers of 10 years and 700 million. So you can imagine, the reaction of the crowd. They were not happy about that. That's a given. What do you expect? The guy Sharon Miley, hey, welcome aboard. But it's like, no, you traitor, you were gonna come to us and you bolted last second. Boo, you stink. Get out of here. So not surprised at all. Sorry for my ranting. Right, Roger? Right. Okay, moving on. Otani, okay, unfazed by the slugger homer on the first pitch he saw from Chris Bassett in the first inning. After he homered, the guys in the dugout were booing him just out of sarcasm, as well as my manager, Dave Roberts. It's kind of funny. He gave a good laugh, but I don't think it's a motivator. Smith said he was impressed with Otani's response to the unwelcome reception. You can't make up something. You can't make up something there. He's got to pitch. He's got to pitch it and throw it over the fence, and that's exactly what he does. Otani met with the Blue Jays in free agency last winter, visiting their spring training complex. Back in December, rumors circled around that the two-time AL MVP took a private jet to Toronto to sign with the Blue Jays. Otani was never on that flight, despite rumors that he was. And later the next day, he signed that mega deal with the Dodgers, staying in Los Angeles. Aside from the fans, may or may not think, I am just grateful for the teams that approached me and wanted to sign me, said Otani. As I said at the press conference, I could ultimately choose only one team. So naturally, he went with the Dodgers. He went 1 for 4 with a walk, 2 runs scored. On Friday, he was over 4 in Thursday's win against the Nationals, ending his 9-game hitting streak. So I'm not surprised with this either. I mean, when you think you got it made, you're going to get your star player, and then all of a sudden, whoops, sorry guys, not coming. So naturally, they're the Blue Jays fans were showing some animosity towards him, and I think they got a point. But I gotta give it to Otani for not letting it get to him and taking his stride because he was, they had the Blues had heart set on him. He didn't come, but instead of getting ticked off and shouting obscenities and whatnot, I think he handled it pretty well. And besides that, when you have that happen, those fans are going to boo you anyway. But just how you take it. Yeah. Well, some of them might have, but we won't say it here. But for the most part, they were just, they were not. That's normal. That's normal, though. That's normal. But then again, the Blue Jays fans are being poor sports about it. I mean, because you didn't get your top guy, so you know you're being just a little bit, poor sports. That's the way I look at it. Anybody else agree with me? Thanks. All right. A lot of injuries to report here. Brewers pitcher Wade Miley said on Friday he has to go surgery for Tommy John surgery. Miley was placed on the 15-day injured list with elbow inflammation in his left elbow on April 22nd. That was Monday. I need full Tommy John surgery, said Miley before Friday's game against the Yankees. I knew it was a different pain than I felt in the past. It doesn't feel that bad. That's the strange part. I would just think that the UCL damage would be more painful. Miley started 2 starts this season for a total of 7 innings. He had an 0-1 record with an ERA of 6.43, allowing 6 runs and 5 of them earned. Not good. The Brewers were counting on him after finishing last season at 9-4 with a respectable 3.14 ERA with 23 starts last season. The Brewers are already without right-hander Brandon Woodruff for the season after undergoing off-season shoulder surgery. So that's bad news right there. You don't want your team coming in to be a train wreck, as the season moves on. I know I don't. And no. And Braves player Ozzy Abeles returned to action and wasted no time after making an attack with 2 hits and RBI as the Braves beat the Guardians 6-2, formerly known as the Indians. He came off the 10-day injured list early in the day after he sustained a right toe injury after being hit by a pitch on April 15th. Probably I think the Eclipse hit him. I don't mind. He was hit on his right foot from a curveball from Astros rookie Spencer Arguetti in a victory for the Braves on that day. He remained in the game, but not realizing he was injured until he took off his cleats. Oh, wow. Luis Gilmore and Dale Fletcher split time at second base while Abeles was out recovering. At the time, they were 7-1 and now have the league's best record at 18-6. And of course, now they play against the 2 best teams last night. The Guardians also are up there on the top of the list. So, possible World Series preview? Maybe. Yeah. Okay, so Abeles was batting at 317 with 2 home runs and 14 RBIs before he was injured. Fletcher was outrighted to AAA Gwinnett, the Braves' top minor league team. Yeah. Well, it could be worse. You could be the White Sox. Oh man, is that team awful? How about 3-21? Does that strike you? 3-22. It's even worse. Man, what is wrong with that team? I've seen teams with bad starts before, but this is ridiculous. 3-22. We're going into May. This could be worse than the 62 Mets for crying out loud. I mean, really, that is a shame. All right, maybe it's a possibility. All right, for you Orioles fans out there, they opted for infielder Jackson Holiday back to the minors after a struggle in the early part of the season. He's only 2 for 34, batting with an 0.59 average and only 1 RBI with 18 strikeouts. He struck 18 times, that is, in his first 10 games since coming to the majors. His dad, former All-Star Matt Holliday, joined the Orioles, averaging 333 with 2 home runs and 9 RBIs in AAA Norfolk. So he was doing well in the minors, but all of a sudden he came to the majors. I mean, he has just been cold. Not that great when he want to become a star for the Orioles, despite the fact they're right up there with the Yankees in the division. He was like the first overall. Yeah, he was selected first overall in the 2020. Yeah, he was selected first overall in 2022 out of high school, playing at shortstop and second base. He batted 321 with 50 runs and 93 RBIs, 29 stolen bases, in 155 minor league games. But let me ask him, guys, do you think that Holiday got a bad rap? I mean, I know he's off to a slow start, but do you think they yanked him too soon, or do you think he deserved to be shipped to the minors? Yeah, there's a lot of thoughts about that. You gotta give him a little bit of time. But shouldn't he did so well in the minors, but then when he came up here, he just fell apart. So hold on, one at a time. Yes, right, he does. All right. So right now we're turning attention to the NBA. Right now the Thunder are being up with the Pelicans 82-66 with about a minute to go in the third. I don't think the Pelicans have much of a chance here. I think the Thunder are just too strong. I mean, they are the number one seed in the West, and the Pelicans are just having a tough time with them. I don't really see them getting them past this first round series. Anybody agree? Yeah. Now, what about with the Bucks? I mean, because there's there's a lot of injuries happening on that team, and all three of their star players are experiencing injuries, and that's a concern right there. So let me, yeah. I mean, the Greek freak is ruled out. The Greek freak is ruled out as he's suffering with a calf strain, even though it doesn't seem to be anything serious. He might play. We don't know if he's going to play tomorrow, but he will be at practice. That's the last I heard. But with their star players out, this could be a problem. I mean, well, last night Tyrese Halliburton he scored a 3-pointer with 1.6 seconds left to stay in the game in the overtime, and the Pacers beat the Bucks. The Pacers now lead the series. The Greek Freak is now missed a second straight game with a calf injury. Halliburton had a triple double of 18 points, 16 assists, and 10 rebounds. Miles Turner added 29 points as the Pacers won their first back-to-back playoff series in 10 years. The Pacers also had their first playoff lead since the Cavaliers in 2018 and whatnot. Chris Middleton scored a game-tying three to force overtime, but he missed a chance for a second overtime as the three-pointer bounced off the side of the rim as the buzzer sounded, but still had a very good outing at 42 points and 10 rebounds. But, how far can this team go without the Greek Freak? I mean, the Pacers don't look to be going down so easily. So this can get very interesting, as the series goes on here. And Damian Lillard also could be out for tomorrow's game. Oh boy! But we'll give it. Yeah, he was Boston. Boston. Yeah, yeah, sure. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they don't play like the heart they once did. They don't play with the heart they once did. All right, so let me go. Let me go on here. No, no, we can't all be artificial intelligence. You're right. Oh no. Okay, let me continue on, guys. All right, Damian Lillard of the Bucks has suffered a strained right Achilles tendon, putting his stats for tomorrow in serious doubt. He was seen with a walking boot after the team's film session today after the injury in the fourth quarter in Game 3 last night. Lillard was grabbing his left leg after a foul on Aaron Naismith with 6.1 seconds left in regulation. He stayed in the game, though, through overtime, but was scoreless and did not attempt a point in the overtime. Lillard's Achilles have been bothering him for the past few weeks. He revealed some discomfort in the Bucks' regular season finale against the Magic and sat out the first few days of practice before starting the playoffs in order to recover a break that Lillard said helped him feel fresh during the series. After the injury occurred in the regulation, head coach Doc Rivers said that Lillard served as a decoy during overtime. The Athletic was first to report the extent of Lillard's injury. Game 4 is tomorrow as the Pacers lead the series 2-1. The Greek Freak is still out with a calf strain, but he is expected to be at practice tomorrow. But this looks like a bit of a train wreck for the Bucks right now. I mean, last year they were upset in the first round, which kind of surprised everybody. Now the Greek Freak is out with his injury, and it's looking pretty shaky right now for the 2-1 right now. Game 4 is tomorrow. So, can the Bucks pull this out? I mean, despite what the injuries that's been happening, or is the Bucks going to be for an early exit like last year? Yeah, yeah, yeah. And no, no, right? Yeah, but I just see that. I just see that myself. Um, no, it's done. All right, but last chance for the Lakers. Do you think they got a shot to beat the Nuggets, or is that going to be a goner? By yeah. Um, the Wizards are going nowhere, Steve. Forget it. Um, Anybody surprised though with the Celtics and the Heat? The Celtics had the best record in the regular season this year. The Heat snuck in, but they're tied at one apiece. So this might be a big surprise this series here. Celtics are the Heat's not going away so easily. Game 3 is 45 minutes. Can the Heat pull this off? Can they be an upset? Ah, all right. Yeah, do any better. Yeah, Jimmy Butler's done, man. Jimmy Butler's done. And the Clippers may be done too, as Kawhi Leonard said inflammation and surgery repaired right knee did not respond well as he hoped for in game 2. And game 4 for tomorrow doesn't look to be so promising. He had 9 minutes, 9 points, and did not look anything like himself in last night's game 3 as he was limited. Star play was limited. The Clippers collapsed and now trail the series 2-1. Leonard was asked if he'd be available for tomorrow with a game less than 40 hours between games 3 and 4. Leonard said, yes, right now, I don't see how I feel, but I do want to play. Well, that takes guts. He missed 23 games due to inflammation of his right knee this season and sat out the final 8 games in the regular season in game 1 in the series against the Mavericks. He played 35 minutes in Tuesday's game, finishing with 15 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 steals. All right. So, well, I'm not thinking much of the Clippers anyway, because what happens every year with them. They finish well in the regular season most of the time, and then the playoffs come, they just choke. They don't even get past the second round. So why should I think this be any different? If it's well, that's Buffalo doesn't play. So I'm not looking for them to get any second round. Yeah. So, so let's take a poll here. So, do the Mavericks have this wrapped up? Bucks Pacers. Do you think the Bucks can pull it out? Oh, yeah. I'm afraid you're right. Despite the remember now, the Bucks and Pacers have pretty good records between them. So it's not like it's a runaway with the Bucks. So this is going to be closely watched, and I think we can say that the Wolves are going to take the Suns tomorrow and give them a sweep, right? Yeah, I think so. The Wolves. No. All right, Knicks and Sixers. The Knicks are up 2-1. Very controversial series so far, guys. I mean, it's been that kind of a series. Game one, the Sixers criticized the officiating, and the Knicks did the same thing in game two. And John B was not feeling all that healthy, but still managed to play anyway. Case in point, he has a mild case of something called Bell's palsy. I'll explain what it means in a minute, guys. Um, though he came up big in a much needed win for the Sixers on Thursday, much to my dismay. he, he had been dealing with the condition for the past week and a half since the playing game on April 17th against Miami. It's a condition caused by weakness in certain facial muscles caused by nerve trauma. That's what it means. But um, Embiid scored 50 points in game three on Thursday night in their first round series, even though the Knicks will lead 2-1. Embiid also escaped an early ejection. Listen to this, guys, for pulling down Knicks center Mitchell Robinson down by the court by his ankle. The foul in question happened in the first quarter with the Knicks up by three. Knicks for OG Anunoby knocked Embiid to the floor while attacking the basket. He passed the ball to Robinson, who was standing over Embiid underneath the basket. Robinson then lost control of the ball, and with the officials whistled Embiid for a foul. Tempers flared up, as I expected, as Embiid and Knicks guard Dante DiVincenzo got in each other's faces and exchanged a few words I cannot mention here. Both players were separated, and officials then called for a review, the third on a fired up first quarter. After the review, officials upgraded the call to a flagrant foul one, as the contact was deemed unnecessary. He avoided a flagrant foul two, which would have been an automatic ejection, and that might have changed the course of the game right there, and maybe the Sixers would have lost. Maybe. A flagrant foul two was determined as unnecessary and excessive contact committed by a player against an opponent. Obviously, the referees did not think it was that excessive. Well, maybe they did. Embiid's contact that dragged Robinson in the core from midair can certainly be considered as unnecessary and excessive, but the officials did not eject Embiid from the game, which I think he should have, because from what I saw, that looked like it was excessive force to me, and I think he should have been ejected from that, even though it's their star player. I think it was a cheap move, and the Sixers got away with it, and Embiid was able to, score those 50 points. But it was up to me. I don't think he should. I think he should have been ejected from the game, and it might have changed the whole game right there. Any thoughts? That's what they all say. Mm, I doubt that. Yeah, I don't know. It looked pretty excessive to me. So I think maybe he got away with something. Oh, and you Islanders fans out there, I got some news for you. Hurricanes and Islanders and regulation tied at 2. We're going to overtime. Oh boy, here we go. Get that hot coffee on. You might need it. Okay. Yeah, but I still think it was excessive and he should have been thrown out. But no, they had to give him his way. All right. Well, enough about that. Well, we'll see what happens in game 3 tomorrow. I'll be looking forward to it. All right. Yes. But I still think the Greek Freak, I think the Bucks are in trouble without the Greek Freak. All right. Warriors guard Stephen Curry was named the clutch player of the year. Finishing him DeMar DeRozan of the Bulls and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander of the Thunder. Curry finished with 189 clutch points, the most in the league this season, while the Warriors also play clutch in most games with 48. Now, those of you who are asking, Lee, what's clutch time anyway? I will tell you. NBA defines clutch time as the final 5 minutes of the games played within a 5-point margin. And I hope that's not me. Curry said you have to be able to deal with failure. If you have to be able to be okay with missed shots you make and have a short memory with it. I don't know if anything clicked other than how much time you put into the game, and that comes the deserved confidence of, okay, I'm ready for whatever moment you find yourself into, or whatever it takes, or whatever you can take. Curry finished with 45 first place votes and 28 total points. Next was DeRozan with 34 first place votes and 272 points. Alexander, a distant third with 11 votes and 160 points. The Joker finished with 4 first place votes and 85 points. And the Knicks had Jalen Brunson with only 2 votes and 26 points. Another blunder for the Knicks. What can I say? All right. Now, here's an oddball story of the week. Kelly Oubre, who appeared to have a rougher game too than most of his teammates did on Monday night. Oubre ran through a red light and crashed his Lamborghini hours after the Game 2 loss against the Knicks, according to TMZ and Fire. His Lamborghini, oh boy. Oubre appeared to escape without injury, as the Sixers did not file an injury report ahead of Thursday's Game 3. The incident occurred around 1:45 a.m. Tuesday morning, while most of us were asleep, as police stated that Oubre disregarded a red traffic signal and hit a 2023 Hyundai Elantra. Elantra, excuse me. Both of the cars needed to be towed away at the scene, but police reported that there was no signs of injuries. I was arrested. I was being grounded, and the car was being impounded. Oh no. The Sixers confirmed to TMZ of the accident. Why them? Before the incident, the Sixers lost a tough game, Game 2 to the Knicks, after blowing a 5-point lead to the Knicks under 30 seconds left. And I was a happy camper about that. You crashed a Lamborghini, though. Oh, are you people nuts? Not crash a Yugo. Yeah, I know. All right, getting back to the Bucks injuries here. Okay, Chris Middleton has sprained right ankle. I came practice on Thursday, and I put him out of his question for Game 3 tonight. The Bucks are already without the Greek Freak with the left calf strain. And another hold your breath moment. Middleton was limping in the first quarter in Tuesday's Game 2 loss, and briefly went to the locker room before getting his ankle retaped and ended up playing 36 minutes. Three-time All-Star averaged 19 minutes per game, 7.5 rebounds, and a 5-point assist in the first 2 games of the series. 19 points, that is. The Greek Freak has not played since his injury on April 9th when the Bucks lost to the Celtics and missed the final 3 regular season games. The Bucks have been out with their top performers several times this season. The Bucks had their top 3 players, Middleton, the Greek Freak, and Damian Lillard, have only been available in 5 of the last 35 games. That covers a 33 regular season game stretch and the first 2 postseason games of this series. So, like I said, the Bucks, I think, are in a lot of trouble here. So we gotta keep our eye on that. I don't know how they're gonna do without him. I really don't. All right. Any Seton Hall fans in the house? Anybody? Any Seton Hall fans around here? Diane, are you there? All right. Seton Hall guys, listen to this one. And I think Alex has appeared. All right, so here's how it goes. Star player Cardi Richmond entered the transfer portal on Thursday morning and became the best player available in the transfer portal. Richmond had long been rumored to be considering a transfer with rival St. John's for a potential landing spot. Ooh, nothing worse than going to your chief rival. A 6'6 guard, Richmond earned his first All Big East team honors, averaging 15.7 points per game, 7.0 rebounds, and 5.1 assists, and led the Pirates to their first NIT title since 1953. He scored 20 or more points in 9 games in conference games, including a triple-double against I Hate Creighton with 21 points, 11 assists, and 11 rebounds. That's a personal thing, guys. Richmond was outstanding in the postseason, scoring 21 points, 13 rebounds, and 5 assists in the title game against Indiana State last month. In 5 NIT games, in the tournament that is, he averaged 13.8 points per game, 9.4 rebounds, and 6 assists. Richmond spent one season at Syracuse before coming in our direction of Seton Hall. He played 85 games in 3 years, but his breakthrough season became this season by showing flashes of his production of averaging 12.6 points per game, 5.6 rebounds, and 4.4 assists in his last 8 games before he suffered a back injury. He is now the eighth player on Seton Hall to enter the Twilight Zone. I mean the transfer portal. Uh, how do you think they're going to be able to duplicate the same success uh, when the season starts in November, or is it going to be another downward spiral once the season begins? I mean, my nephew was a big fan of Richmond, and so was I. As you know, Seton Hall shocked the basketball world by winning the NT tournament just last month. So this doesn't look too good for Seton Hall fans out here. Any thoughts? Anything, Dana? Yeah. What about you, Steve? Okay. Diane, are you there? Okay, I hear something in the background. I don't know what it is though. Ah, wow. Roger, any thoughts on Kadari leaving Seton Hall? Yes. Yeah. Oh, we got double overtime with the Islanders and Hurricanes. Okay. All right, who do we like in that series now? As we had that Islanders or Hurricanes? Steve, you had the Islanders. Diane, Roger, Dana. All right. Yes, I see the Hurricanes though. All right. Will the Rangers sweep? Will the Rangers sweep your Capitals tomorrow, Steve? Will the Rangers sweep the Capitals? Sorry, I didn't want to say it out loud. I didn't want to say it out loud. Okay, okay. Dana. All right. Let me ask you this, guys. Do the Capitals have a chance at all to stay competitive in this series, or is it going to be over in a hurry? It's 3-0. It's 3-0 now, guys. It's 3-0 now. Yeah. Well, I'll just say 3 words about that. Let's go, Rangers. Uh, yeah. All right. All right. Bruins Leafs. Who do you got with this series? It's the Bruins are up 2-1. They lost game 2 by surprise. The Leafs are hanging in there. Well, then again, you have Austin Matthews, of course. So you'll figure that out. So who we like here? Bruins or Leafs? Anybody can answer. This is a free for all. Yeah, but one at a time, guys. But anybody can answer. I'm going with the Bruins. Personal reasons as well. Diane knows. All right. And the Stars and the Knights. The Knights are up 2-0, proving that they are the defending Stanley Cup champions and showing it every step of the way. Uh, I wouldn't count the Stars out yet, though. I mean, they are a good team, and don't take it for granted here. So I'm going to say the Stars still have a chance. Anyone else? No. Yes, yes. All right. Anybody else? I'm still going with the Knights. All right, that's actually for today. Now for tomorrow, we already just mentioned about the Rangers and okay. How about the Jets and Avalanche? We had a good. There was a good game last night though between these two teams here. So let me just reiterate on that, if I may. Okay, just to go up here. I mean, they were. It was a competitive until the third period. Well, the Jets had scored 4 goals in the third period and just blew them to shame. So there might be some here with them. With 5 goals in the third period, the Avalanche showed the version of why they can make up for last season's early postseason exit after winning the Stanley Cup the year before. The Avalanche put on an avalanche of their own, play on words here, with a 6-2 win over the Jets on last night. Last season, we had no goals outside our top 3 forwards and defenseman Avalanche and the defenseman. Avalanche coach Jared Bednar said, I don't know if you add up, but it's huge. Contribute huge contributions this season. We are a deeper team. There's no question about that. A lack of secondary scoring combined with the A's last season, even though they scored 19 goals, but lost to the Kraken in the first round last year. They have 17 goals in the first 3 games of this season, this series, counting 10 from beyond the first line and their top defensive pairing. Former Devils winger Zach Parise, sorry, Di, who signed with the Avalanche in February, who finally wants to win his first cup, skated with the team to a 1-0 opening lead before the Jets took a 2-1 lead through Tyler Toffee and Josh Morrissey. Penalties, however, in the third period was a different story as penalties grounded the Jets. A power play goal by Nate McKinnon got the puck rolling for the Avalanche. In the third fall by Valerie Yashurkin, Ashori Lincoln, and Ross Colton. An empty net goal by Damon Tays put the game out of reach for the Jets. I think there's a Jonathan Tays too. I don't know if they're related or not. Casey Mindestat had 3 assists in the victory. At the end of the game, there was an ice scrum between the Avalanche and the Jets that saw Jets defenseman Brendan Dillon emerge with a bloody lacerated left hand. Dillon left the ice then headed for the locker room. Not a great way to end the game. Oh boy. Jets coach Rick Bowness said there was no update on Dillon's condition at the time. Obviously, it was a scary situation. Here said Morrissey. I said I really have nothing to say, but we are really convinced, really concerned for him and hope he's okay. What a way to end a game, though, guys. Ugh. Not in playoffs, guys. Not in playoffs. Yeah, yeah. We could. We could. Yes, that's right. Whether it takes 5 minutes, whether it takes 5 minutes, 5 hours, or 5 years, you're still here. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, so we're going to turn our attention to the NHL draft because I got some news about that. It'll be on June 7th this year. Okay, let me go to that right now because I think this is important. I hope it's still up here. Yes, it is. All right, so the draft is scheduled for May 7th. It'll be held in Secaucus, New Jersey. The San Jose Sharks, who have the worst record of all, have an 18.5 chance of getting the top pick. The Sharks fired coach David Quinn this week after finishing with an NHL worst record of the season of 1954-9, which is the worst record in the salary cap era that began in 2005-2006. Yuck. 1954-9. That's awful. Boston University forward McKillen Celebrini, the winner of the Hope B. Baker Award, is the projected number 1 pick. So here's a rundown of who gets the draft picks, right? San Jose Sharks are the leaders at 18.5. Next up, the Blackhawks at 13.5. The Ducks are 11.5. The Blue Jackets, 9.5. Montreal, 8.5. The team formerly known as the Phoenix Coyotes, now Utah, 7.5. The Senators are 6.5. The Kraken an even 6. The Flyers an even 5. The Devils only 3.5. Not great news, Diane. Sorry. The Sabres, you have to ask. Oh, boy. 3% for the Buffalo Sabres. Yeah, 3% for the Sabres, 2.5 for the Flyers, 2.0 for the Wild, 1.5 for the Penguins, zero point 0.5 for the Red Wings and Blues. But remember, the team that has the best odds does not always get the top pick in the draft. So keep that in mind, folks. That does not mean they're going to get it. My guess is, yeah. Well, my guess is I think it's going to be the Blackhawks. Yeah, even though they're not going to do much. Ugh. Yeah, I got good goaltending. Speaking of sad news here, I got some really sad news concerning the Giants rather. Um, Former Giants lineman Corey Cunningham was found dead at his Clifton, New Jersey home on Thursday. He was just 28. Yeah. The Giants said in a statement that they were very saddened but to hear the news, as most of us are. The sudden passing of Corey on Thursday morning said he was a vital part in the spirit of the camaraderie in the locker room. Our thoughts are with his family and friends and teammates. What a shame. Um, Case of the cause of his death is not known still at this time. Clifton police had to force their way into his home where they found him dead, deceased, we should say, according to a police spokesman. Police are still investigating. However, for the moment, they have ruled out foul play. Okay, so at least it wasn't that. Cunningham was selected in the 7th round of the 2018 draft by the Cardinals out of Cincinnati. He also spent time with the Patriots before coming over to the Giants. He only played in 31 games with 6 starts, but had been dealt with foot injuries throughout his career. He had surgery his rookie year with the Cardinals in 2022, the 2022 season for the Giants. He never played another game after that in the NFL. The news of his death has brought shock and sadness today with his teammates posting about Cunningham's death. That's a shame, though. I mean, he wasn't really a very popular player, but nonetheless, you don't want to see this happen to anybody. And our thoughts and prayers. I just wish Mike was here. He could have given us our thoughts on that because he is a Giant fan. All right. Yeah. For the first time since 2019, the MLB is bringing back the Players Weekend in August. From August 16th to the 18th, different aspects of players' lives will be highlighted through same events, broadcast, and social media. Day 1 will feature personalities, friendships, and on-the-field interest. Day 2 will focus on their charity causes, and Day 3 will celebrate the people who helped them on their paths to the majors, such as coaches, parents, and other mentors. Well, how do you think I got my start from my mentor? During the weekend, the players will be wearing new era caps featuring the player's number on the side panel in a youthful design. According to the release, players will also be able to use customized bats during the games and can wear cleats with personal designs as well. MLB is calling the 3-day event a reimagined weekend, as its previous version from 2017 and 2019 that featured specifically designed uniforms with players' nicknames on the back of the jerseys. I kind of like that. That's a real good story. That's our good story of the week, guys. Yeah. All right. Well, to my late partner, way to go. To my late partner, Eric. Oh, well, yeah. Oh, we didn't do a UFL last week, so I'm going to do it right now before we forget. Even though that maybe 99% of the world doesn't care, but I'm going to do it anyway. All right. All right. For tonight's games, which start at 7 o'clock after the Fox baseball game. Uh, I'll take care of that later. Hey, call on the show. All right. Okay, here we go. Spurs versus Arlington. We got Steve. Dana. All right. Um, Diane. Roger. Is Matt still here? No. All right, so I'm gonna take ownership myself. All right. Oh, sorry, Alex. Uh, I didn't mean to avoid you. All right, Birmingham and Houston. We have a problem. Steve, who do you got? Diane, Alex, Roger. All right, I'm gonna go with Birmingham. Tomorrow, okay, okay. St. Louis versus DC. Gee, Steve, who are you gonna take? Dana, I thought so. Diane, Roger, Alex. All right, I'm gonna go with DC myself. And finally, Michigan versus Memphis. I'll go with Steve. All right. Uh, Dana, Diane, Roger, Alex. You're gonna steal my line. I knew it. I knew he was gonna do it. I knew it. I knew he was gonna do that. You beat me to it. I knew it. All right. Well, who's the dummy running the show again? Yeah. All right. I knew it was gonna happen. I knew that would happen. All right. Other notes here. A's second baseman Zach Gelof was placed on a 10-day injured list with a left oblique strain. He was scratched from Wednesday's game after feeling pain during a pregame warmup. An MRI showed a low-grade strain. The move was retroactive to Wednesday. He went to his pregame routine and decided to take a cautious approach, as set by manager Mark Corsti before Thursday's series final game against the Mets. I think it happened later in the season in September. He would probably play through it, but it's April, so we're just a little cautious. Okay, I understand that. It's early in the season, guys. We don't do with that too much. Yeah, yeah. So, any event, like I said, I still got to look for that story with the White Sox because they are atrocious this season. It's just terrible. You know about it, right? Right, Alex? Oh, 3-22. Yeah. Well, the Red Sox have their own problems as the injury list grows. Brian Bello, the starting pitcher, was on the 15-day injured list on Wednesday with right lat tightness. The move was retroactive April 21st. The Red Sox recall right-hander Zach Kelly from AAA Rochester to refill the spot. His injury is a bit of a surprise after he dominated in the most recent outing. He pitched 6 scoreless innings last Friday against the Pittsburgh Pirates. He struck out 7 and just gave up 1 hit and walked 2. So that's kind of surprising. Bello joins starters Nick Pivetta with an elbow injury, Garrett Whitlock with an oblique strain on the 15-injured list, and newcomer Lucas Jalou is done for the year as he underwent Tommy John surgery. The Red Sox are not just confirmed injuries are not just confirmed to the mound either. First baseman Tristan Cassis will be missing with a fractured rib. Shortstop Trevor Story is out with a fractured shoulder. Infielder Vaughn Grissom has yet to make his debut as he recovers from a groin injury. It's a mash unit. How do you win your team with a train wreck? Yeah, folks. Yeah. Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Greg. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Here's a story, guys. Here's a story here. Houston, you have a problem. Well, what else is new? They find themselves in an unusual position as at the time of this report, now, are 10 games below 500 for the first time in 8 years. Mike Talham hit his first two home runs of the season and gave the Cubs a 7-2 win over the Astros. Cody Bellinger hit a two-run homer. This was back on Tuesday. Two-run off of JP France 0-3. Then Togum hit a three-run shot. Togum's hit a solo home run in the eighth against Seth Martinez and tied a career high with 4 RBIs. The Astros lost three straight and were 6-7. At the time of this report, it was 7-17. 7-17. The last place Astros are off to their worst start since 2016 when they started the season at 18-28. France. Now remember, this was on Wednesday's report, so it's a little outdated. I apologize for that. France gave up 5 runs with 5 hits and 4 walks in 5 innings. Ugly. Well, guys, look on the bright side, though. You could be the White Sox, who are now, thanks to report I heard, is now pathetic 3-22. How on earth are you going to compete with your 3-22? I mean, really, 22. That is sad. Yeah. All right. Shall we go to? Oh, let me go to something else first. Hold on, Greg. Hold on. Yeah. Uh. Oh, wait. Let me find something here. All right, guys. I want to know something. You guys all know about heard of John Sterling, right? Thank you, Diane. Yes. John Sterling retirement. All right. So he got John Sterling. John Sterling. That's true. That's true. So he called it quits. Retired back about 2 weeks ago almost. He's been on the air since 1960. He came over to the Yankees back in 1989 after doing several other teams over the years. The Athletics' Andrew Manchard broke the news 2 weeks ago. The 85-year-old was planning to announce retirement um, back 2 weeks ago, effective immediately. The Yankees later confirmed the news, and Sterling would become the voice of the individual home runs call, ending games with "the Yankees win." Released a statement as well, and of course, Bernie goes boom. I mean, he made some great calls. Who can ever forget uh, October 2003 when Aaron Boone hit the home run, and both him and Charlie Steiner were absolutely nuts. The Yankees win. It was just amazing, and he's called 85. 80, you know, I don't, tell me this, guys. If it was so great, why didn't he go into television? I think he would have been great for television. Hmm, yeah, yeah, yeah. Roy? Better, yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. But does anybody have any Greg, I gotta speed it up. I gotta speed it up. I only got 4 minutes. So anyway, yeah, why couldn't I mean Strong was so great on radio? Why couldn't he go into television? I thought we've been great for TV. Well, you know what? I prefer radio to television show for one simple reason. If you make a fool of yourself, no one can see what you've done. Ah, yes, yes, yes. Station. Okay, I understand. All right. So, quick review in history. 1983, Nolan Ryan becomes the strikeout king of 3,509 yards, passing Walter Johnson. Well, that's something. 1990, Dodger Earl Hershiser undergoes career-threatening shoulder surgery. Oh, I remember that. 1994, the seventh longest game in NHL history, as the Sabres beat the Devils 1-0 on a goal by Dave Hannon. I remember that. I remember that. 2003, Alabama quarterback Bryce Young, first pick by the Carolina Panthers. Oh, dear. All right, guys, what was your best and worst moments of the month? Quickly. Uh, okay, okay. All right. Quickly, guys, only got about 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Quickly. All right, they'll give you mine. I think the worst moment was, when they had the attack, oh, Russia, and there was soccer games that were being canceled because of the incident, and the hockey player's baby was stillborn. That's what happened with that. I can't remember the player's name, but that was a sad one because nothing worse than losing a child. And of course, the Giants player just passed away. Best moment, you got to admit it. UConn winning the championship and Seton Hall winning the NIT. All right, guys. I hate to eat and run, but we're on a time schedule here, and I don't want to go into Rasul's show. So on that note, I want to thank everybody for coming in. For those of you who are still praying Passover, happy Passover as well. I know some of you are starting bringing it late, but that's okay. Thanks everybody for coming in. Next week we got a great show. Derby Saturday, so I'll take your predictions for that. Round two, hopefully, of the NHL and NBA playoffs. May will preview some WNBA action as well as that season heats up. And believe me, it's really heating up. So, on that note, I will say goodnight and we'll talk again next week, same time, same station. So, all right, let me get out of here. Hold on, I got to do Kevin's. Yeah, that's how it works, Steve. I can't get it in. All right, I'll just wait. Where's the Where's the at? Oh,